Helluva Boss released a trailer at Level Up Con this week, with one of the favorite sequences being a series of scenes that fans generally believe to come from the upcoming episode called Apology Tour. The very next episode coming out is called Full Moon, and to explain what happens in Apology Tour, I'll have to explain my new theory on what's going on in that episode first. So subscribe, leave a rudely critical comment so that I can be offended, and that you can say that I don't take criticism well. Now, the episode Apology Tour is going to likely be about Blitz going on a tour to apologize to everyone that he has hurt, which at this point is a lot of people. However, before we get to that, I believe it will require one more person to be added to that list, and that person is Stolas. So far, the trailer seems to show us quite a few scenes from the next episode of Full Moon, which would focus on Blitz and Stolas meeting for their monthly arrangement. Following the trailer, there was also a music sequence from the episode release that showed Blitz and Stolas getting ready to meet each other. Stolas is of course planning to end their arrangement by giving Blitz an Osmodian crystal so he can keep his business running without having to use the grimoire. However, the trailer indicates that Blitz will take this as a breakup and things get dramatic. Blitz cries that people like Stolas think they can do this every time, indicating that Blitz has been through this before with another elite. This was alluded to in the episode Oops, where Blitz insists to Fizz that no elites could ever love lowly imps like the two of them, not even Osmodius. This episode seems to have Stolas and Blitz being teleported to the castle of Andrealfis, with someone attacking Stolas who Blitz is trying to protect, with Stolas on the ground here seemingly injured. Despite Blitz protecting Stolas here and me theorizing that they end things on good terms in my previous video, one shot from the trailer shows Stolas singing on stage with Verosika and a sign that says Blitz sucks. This would have to be after the episode Full Moon and likely near the end of the Apology Tour, indicating that Stolas and Verosika are basically on the same page about Blitz and him being an awful person. So what did Blitz do that makes Stolas so mad at him after it was Blitz that was so upset at Stolas for trying to break things off? And how would the Apology Tour pan out as a result? We know that Andrealfis is trying to sabotage Stolas, and from the trailer it would seem that Visago, another Goetia demon, wants to summon Stolas to them for the monthly full moon ritual. We also see Blitz and Stolas at the same icy location as Andrealfis in this trailer, with something attacking Stolas and Blitz trying to defend him with a blade. It would seem when Stolas gets summoned, such as we saw can be done with his seal in episode 6 of season 1, Blitz will end up going with him. This would be seen as an insult to the Goetia, skipping out on your duties and being caught with the same lowly imp you were caught having an affair with. Andrealfis is also the brother of Stella and would be extra offended by this, but I don't think that's the whole conflict here. Stolas is not supposed to be giving out his grimoire, and if Blitz is feeling particularly hurt by Stolas, I think Blitz will reveal to this party of Ars Goetia demons that Stolas had given him the grimoire in exchange for a monthly night together. This reveal would likely get Stolas in a lot of trouble, not just scandal trouble, but outright facing the possibility of execution for abusing his magics this way, hence why Stolas ends up getting hurt. Blitz would of course not realize just how much trouble he is causing Stolas with this reveal, something he'd probably expose in the heat of the moment, after shouting at Stolas about how elites are always doing this to lowly imps like him. It would be something that causes way more trouble than Blitz expected, and while they may get out of it alive in this episode, it would set up Stolas for a very troubled future where he would likely be put on some sort of internal trial by the Goetia. Blitz would have set Stolas up to, at the very least, lose everything he has, including his daughter Octavia, and potentially his own death if Andrealfis is able to work his shenanigans to get the worst possible punishment. And that's why I think the Apology Tour may start with Stolas himself, with us just jumping right back to where Full Moon left off. We can see in the trailer a scene that involves Stolas lounging about, but he's not wearing his princely outfit and instead is looking more relaxed. He is friendly enough with Blitz, even seductive in some shots, but there are interesting moments where he looks frustrated while reading his book, and angry while a line of his plays where he is asking someone if they feel any kind of remorse for what they do. This could be a mislead with the line applying to Stella or Andrealfis or whoever, but it would make the perfect setup for Blitz to go on an apology tour. After the events of Full Moon, the tables would be turned and now Blitz could be pursuing Stolas, trying to seduce him, but Stolas knowing that Blitz is just not worth the danger. After a semi-serious talk about what Blitz has actually done to Stolas, Blitz may realize he needs to show remorse not just to Stolas, but to everyone he has hurt. This realization would likely come with Blitz having invaded Stolas' morning trying to seduce him and act like nothing had happened instead of coming with a genuine apology. Following Stolas, Blitz would begin his tour with Verosika, going to the Lust Ring in order to try and make some sort of amends, though we know that this doesn't go well. We can see Verosika a few times in the trailer in different outfits, and she can be heard saying that Blitz is a terrible person, with Blitz clapping back and saying that it's hell and everyone is terrible. His emphasis here is that he is trying to apologize, but like with Stolas, he'll probably do it in a terrible and perhaps meaningless way. Verosika is a pop star who Blitz dated, and like Stolas, she seems to have had genuine feelings for him. She even got Blitz's name tattooed on her, and Blitz dumping her is something that seems to have somewhat defined her since then. From what we know, at some point Blitz randomly decided to ditch Verosika, leaving her in a motel room, stealing her car and credit cards so he could get horse riding lessons in Wrath. This wasn't a breakup, it was a betrayal, but in Blitz's head, Verosika had never loved him. Unfortunately, this wasn't because of anything Verosika did as far as we know, but as Blitz's relationship with Stolas has become more intense, he's alluded to someone in his past, an elite, treating him like he was a temporary plaything. Since then, Blitz seems unable to commit to someone elite, whether a famous singer like Verosika or a prince like Stolas, because he just doesn't see anything they say as genuine. No matter how much love they give him, he simply believes that it's an act, because in the past it really was an act with someone he dated. This, I can't imagine, goes well, and in the end, Blitz will end up just making things worse with Verosika, leading to the Blitz Sucks concert down the road with Stolas and Verosika singing together at the end of the episode, but more on that soon. At some point, I think Barbie Wire could appear as well, with Blitz trying to visit her for another apology, but it isn't featured in the trailer, so we don't know for sure. Instead, one thing we do get interesting details on is Fizz. While Blitz technically is made up with Fizz, I think Blitz being on a journey to try and prove himself through apologies would loop him right back to his friendship with Fizzarolli, and he may end up learning harsher truths than he wanted, and perhaps ruin his friendship again. Fizz is someone who forgave Blitz, but if Blitz keeps picking at the wound, Fizz could feel uncomfortable, like Blitz is expecting too much in order to get a sense of validation instead of actually trying to fix more issues, and he too may learn something that makes him hate Blitz again. We see some flashbacks from Blitz's POV that plays out on a projected screen as Blitz watches, with the line we hear being about how Blitz makes everyone's lives worse, probably an admission after an episode dealing with all of Blitz's mess-ups. One crazy thing we see is that Blitz was trying to visit Fizz in the hospital, but was pushed away by his own father, Buxo. This seemed to be the person that told Blitz that Fizz didn't want to see him, and who told Fizz that Blitz never came. While this should be something that leads to them making up, I think it will ultimately make things worse for them in one way or another, leading to Blitz being at his lowest when he circles back to Stolas at the end of the episode and sees him performing his Blitz Sucks concert with Verosika. We can see one shot where Stolas, in the same Prince getup from the concert, is looking really sad across from Blitz, who is wearing the same white and red spotted cloth that he was wearing in his scene with Verosika, indicating it is once again the same episode. This seems to be a turnaround where after trying to embarrass Blitz, Stolas does feel sad and the two will have a chance to really make up. Ultimately, that could mean this apology tour works, making it the perfect place to end this sort of two-part story with a 3-month hiatus before getting to Ghost Effers, Mastermind, and Sinsmas in October, November, and December this year. But for more information on those episodes, stay subscribed because we will have dedicated videos talking about what we know coming out this week. See you guys then.